So secret number 7, apply to a few jobs each week. So use your application plan. Just remember that quality beats quantity. So rough figures for a client of mine is I'd want a hit rate 1 out of 6. For every 6 applications, I want them to be getting an online test or an interview. If not, then we would review that process and I would understand what is wrong. And always apply directly at the source. I'm going to show you what I mean shortly. Do not apply through jobs boards because you're going to get screened twice. So filling out the application questions, I sent you over the 28 most common questions answered. That will help you to answer most application questions that you're going to get, right? I'm going to give you a bit more detail on this one. So apply to the latest vacancies sent to your inbox. How many of you, what do you guys use to look for job vacancies? I'm just curious. How are you finding your job vacancies? LinkedIn, Indeed, JobScan, CV Monster, your university, Indeed, LinkedIn Monster, LinkedIn Target Jobs, Indeed Bright Network. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so pretty much the same. Right, most people use Indeed, right? So I just want to show you something. So first of all, right, here's Indeed, right? Oh, some more responses that turned out to be, okay, cool. Career fairs, okay, that's interesting. So say for example, you want to be, somebody said that they wanted to work in accounting graduate, right? So you look for accounting graduate in the UK. That gives you 483 jobs, right? So first of all, you only want jobs that have been posted in the last 7 days. Why? Because this is something that you're going to do every week. So once you've done this, you can send yourself a custom alert. So you could actually just get a custom alert for stuff that's sent every day. You only want jobs that are posted by employers, not by recruitment agencies, particularly if you need a work visa. The job type must be full-time, and then kind of there we go, right? So that's shorten it down to 22 jobs, and then you can set this as a custom alert to send to yourself. Why do we not apply for jobs that are older than 7 days, apart from graduate schemes, I have to add, which have basically a large amount of, or they might have tranche vacancies. The reason being is the best way, the quickest and easiest way to get a job, just be first. If you think about this from an employer's point of view, they want to hire most people now, apart from if they're a Times Top 100 graduate company, right? So the best way to get a job is just be first. Just be the first person that applies for that job, because you've just got a greatly increased chance of success just by being early. Do any of you guys use Google Jobs? Just wondering. Google Jobs is amazing. So most people that I know would use Google. I always get people to, it's also called Google Careers. The reason being is like everything goes through Google. Oh, not Google Careers. So Google Jobs is really cool. So let's look for finance graduate. So you can search by particular keywords, date posted, past week, location. So you can look within a specific location of where you're based, the company type that you want to apply for, the employer. You can also search by particular names of employers. You can also add stuff which is there. And then all you would do here is just create an alert, and it will link to your account and send something through every day. It's not perfect. You'll get duplicates, but it's pretty damn good. If you can use Google first, I always would recommend doing this. I think it's really very useful. And from this, what will happen is that you should always have more vacancies than time. You always want to have more opportunities than time, but you want the opportunities that you want, not that are just displayed to you. Now, what do I mean about not applying through Indeed, but applying directly? So if I was looking for jobs, I go through, I just control left click a couple of jobs. This just opens them in new tabs and stops me having to go backwards and forwards. So let's take these 6. So anywhere that says apply now, I tend to just bin them. If I think that the company's pretty big, then I'll just take this and Google it and apply for the company directly. Why is that? Because I don't want to get screened twice. So Indeed will screen me and then the company will screen me. I don't want that. That's like double the competition for myself. I might as well just go straight to the source. So I just go and look up these guys, apply now, apply on company site, amazing. So I can just use Indeed to do the hard work for me. And then this is finance and accounting specialist for a recent graduate at Procter & Gamble. That seems fine. So then I can just go and apply for this job directly through Procter & Gamble. Why? Because I only get screened once. Yeah, same. It applies to for like 4 to 6 jobs a week. It doesn't sound like very much. Some of you are probably going like, oh, I'm applying to like 50 jobs a week, 100 jobs a week. I already know if you're applying to like more than 10 jobs a week, those are probably low quality applications. You're probably just doing one-click apply. Bright Network is really cool, like definitely something for that. But again, I don't like to compete. I don't want to compete with any people. I don't want to get sifted and sorted by Bright Network. I definitely don't want to compete with those other students. So say, for example, this is round, let's have a look. So Dare graduate trading analyst, graduate trading analyst. I just go and apply to them directly. I don't want to get screened by Bright Network. I don't want to get screened by anybody. I just want to apply to the job directly. And they are more likely to employ me if I apply to them directly because they're not having to pay a third-party fee, right? So it's a win-win all round. I'm much more likely to be seen if I apply to them directly. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Set your alerts. It's worth spending the time to refine your search initially. This might take you about 25, 30 minutes. And what I mean by refining your searches is that you might say accounting graduate, and you might use a Boolean search, right? Not finance, not whatever, or, and. Yeah, if you don't know how to do a Boolean search, just look it up. It'll make your life a lot easier. Yeah. You could set it for a particular location. The only refinement if you're an international is you'll just want to use this. Right. So just use sponsortier2.com. I don't know if you guys know this, maybe some of you do, but if you looked up, so I'm just thinking about somebody who mentioned Ireland. Maybe you're looking for finance. Oh, there are no finance companies in Ireland. That can't be right. This is weird. Oh. Huh. There's only 15 sponsors in Ireland? That can't be right. You can actually just download a CSV and just get it sent straight to your email. So you can look by industry and also location. I'll show you. That's really useful for internationals. So I do know that we need to update this. And then it looks something like this. Wow, there's really only 15 sponsors in Ireland. That's nuts. It's weird. Huh. Maybe because that's where they're registered. But maybe that's where because their main company is registered in the UK. Huh, who knew? Cool. Let's just talk about online tests. So assumptions crush dreams. The basic rule of thumb for online tests, particularly for graduates, is just logical, numerical, and situational judgment tests. First of all, what I would do is just set a benchmark. So I take one logical test, one numerical test, one SJT. Whatever you score the worst in is where you need to start doing the work. right? Do the worst one first. Most people will obsess, what's the kind of score you're looking for? 6s and 7s out of 10. Ideally, yes, you'd want to get 7, 8, and 9. But I think, again, remember about the fact that you've got a limited amount of time and try and do a test a day. Most importantly, when you fail a test, try to review why you failed. So most people struggle with situational judgment tests. And I always say to them, did you read the explanations afterwards? And they'll say, oh no, I just tried another test. Try to understand why you failed. That's going to help you to succeed, right? Most people won't do that, and that's the reason why they continue to fail. Yeah. Online tests in essence are not that difficult, but what most people struggle with is time. Yeah. So that is in your. So did a handout for this, which is called Crushing Online Tests. There used to be 80% of Fortune 500 companies use psychometric testing. I'd say that's closer to 90 or 95%. Though for professionals, not so much. On average, only 20% of candidates will pass online tests. Try to ideally be getting 80% before you take the real test, if you have the time. A lot of the times when I say things like that, I do caveat that by saying, you may or may not have the time to do that. In an ideal world, you would, but otherwise, 6s and 7s will do. I would say 90% of online tests come from 6 providers. Probably 70% of those come from SHL and Connexa. Yeah, because it's the whole 80-20 rule. So if you buy a pack, just practice SHL and Connexa tests and you're pretty much golden. Some of you may also be familiar with gamified tests. PwC does them, Deloitte, Deutsche Bank, and also job simulations. I recommend that you use Graduates First. It's quite good. A lot of universities provide that as well. Most of the time you get 3 to 7 days to submit your tests, which is why this is something, if you're applying for a graduate job, you want to start getting ready now, because if you just get ready when you get the test, it's probably going to be too late. How do you prepare? Just do a test a day. One thing that I would say about online tests is it's really boring. It is boring. It's not sexy at all. Doing one online test at a time, but just do the tests over and over again. You will get better. It's like riding a bike. Once it clicks, you never go back. So my experience of working with clients is once they get it, they just get it. They don't have to, sort of redo it over and over again. Once you get logical, you get it. Once you get numerical, you get it. Just buy a pack of online tests, please. Don't waste time trying to get free tests. People will waste hours, days, weeks. Most people will fail because they just try and get free online tests. There are 3 major providers that I like, which is Job Test Prep, Assessment Day, and Graduate First. When I was doing this with clients, I used Job Test Prep. I just like them. They're the oldest one out there. I'll drop a link in the chat at the end where you can just get a discount off. It's completely up to you, but they're all good. Assessment Day is great. Graduate First is great. Graduate First is probably the most up to date. Job Test Prep are real in terms of their user interface. Job Test Prep are best, I feel, for having the most recent tests. So if Job Test Prep say they've got HSBC's tests, they've got HSBC's tests until HSBC changes them. So that's why I kind of like them, because they're really on point for finding the closest test to the real thing. So I just want to, I'm going to go through this and then I'm going to show you a video, and it's literally only like a minute and a half, but I think it will really help you to understand just how difficult it is getting a job. So it's just a game. It's the hiring game, right? It's a numbers game and it's not personal. It can feel like that, rejection, failure. It can feel like it's personal, but it's really not. You just need to know the rules, many of which we have already covered today, and just track what you're doing and adjust your approach. So kind of constantly think to yourself, is what I'm doing correct? If not, I need to adjust my approach. So a couple of people said a couple of different things. I said, why don't you test something different to see that works? Really beware of burnout. I've seen a lot of really bright young people get burnt out. Basically, when they kind of have that kind of like, I'm going to fucking kill someone or kill myself. When you feel like that, it's time for a day off. Time to take the weekend off. It's not that deep. It's just a job, right? I know it can feel like it's something that's deeply personal and is part of your identity, but it's not. The fact that you cannot get a job right now does not make you any less of a beautiful human being. For fuck's sake, don't take it personally, please. Right, I've seen some incredibly intelligent people just flame out gloriously, and I've just said, like, go and have a drink, go and see your mates, go and do some stupid shit this weekend, and come back Monday, because it's not that deep. Don't take it personally. Tracking and adjusting is a major reason why people succeed, and not doing that is a major reason why people fail. That randomness, that chaos is not good for you. It gives you the illusion of busyness while really getting not very much done, right? And the last thing I want to say is, don't get caught up in the blame game. So sometimes people say, you know, the problem is the country or the system, or it's where I'm from, or like, it's all bollocks. Like, whatever the country is, they may not be perfect. I can only speak having observed the process in the UK, and to a certain extent, the US, Australia, and parts of Asia, because I've dealt with a lot of international clients. Most of them are meritocracies. It really is just about tailoring your skills and experiences to the thing that is required. It's not about you. Don't take it personally. And last, I just want to show you this video. So this was a young lady who I worked with, and she had already been, so she'd worked at Morgan Stanley. She just, I just helped her. She just moved to Goldman Sachs, right? And this was her response when I asked her about finding a job. I just want, because it's just like really phenomenally bright, talented young person.
And I know you've been working in banking a couple of years now, but if you just cast your mind back, what did you find? What was your experience like looking for a job as a student?
Yeah, I think job hunting process was a nightmare for me. Even these 4 years later, I could still remember it. I was applying for a lot of different jobs through the company website or through recruiters. However, I never really heard back, or the job hunting process was always unsuccessful because I found it very struggle to tailor my CV to match the job requirement of a company. And
Mm.
also, I've been through a couple of face-to-face interviews, which I find it difficult to make myself stand out among other candidates because I don't know how to structure my answer, and I didn't prepare well for those competency questions that they ask. And lastly, I went into a lot of assessment centers where there are case studies and group discussions, and I didn't really know how to behave and how to raise my opinions in a group environment, as well as I was really scared of the presentation at the end. That made me feel very challenging and difficult.
So just to give you a sense of perspective, so um, she was a top student from China, a top student. She went to G5 University, right? Absolute, for her bachelor's and her master's degree. So she is probably like 0.001%. After the call, she said to me, even now, she's working at Goldman Sachs now, right? And she said, finding a job, finding her first graduate job was the hardest thing she's ever done, right? So if you feel like it's hard, this is what hard feels like. And it's not just you. It's not that you're not good enough. It's got nothing. It is hard. It is difficult, right? And I wanted to share that with you because sometimes we can be left feeling like is there something wrong with me? You know, what is it that I'm doing? What is it about me? Seriously, everybody finds it hard. If she finds it hard, you'll find it hard. And I've observed many, many people just like her, just like you, also find it hard. This is what hard feels like, right? Cool. So just finally, I just wanted to answer some FAQs. What about LinkedIn? Can I get a job on LinkedIn? Yes, you can. If you want to use a content strategy. If you just message people randomly on LinkedIn asking them for jobs, no one's going to reply to you because it's super annoying. There is something in the pack which is called, there's a free ebook, which is literally called How to Find a Job on LinkedIn. And I gave that to you for free. So I'm not going to explain to you how to do that because you can just go and read it and figure that one out yourself. What are the best industries to work for? Finance, tech, and engineering. That's where the majority of the jobs are. It's not that there aren't jobs in oil and gas, there's just not as many. It's not that there aren't jobs in manufacturing, there's just not as many, right? I'm not in the UK, but I want a job in the UK, then you need to be in the UK. That's the bottom line, particularly post-Brexit. I've done everything, but I'm still not getting anywhere, then get some professional help. Get someone to see something that you're not seeing. I think that's a really relevant point to make. Sometimes you can have done everything and still not be getting anywhere. So maybe you need somebody to give you a different opinion, a different point of view, right? This is a thank you, Fox, saying thank you very much. Thanks for your time.